So let me explain you with an examples. Let me take the example 1. Okay, I'll explain with different examples. So when it is implicitly called and when you need to explicitly, you have to mention like that. So class sample is my class name. Okay, so I'm declaring an instance variable. Int x is equal to 10 is an instance variable. I didn't mention static here. If you mention static, then it is static. Int x means it's a class variable. So int x is equal to 10. So void show. So this is a method I'm using, and system dot out dot println. Okay, so I'm just calling this instance variable. Okay, now within the class I'm writing main function public static void main string arguments. Okay, so here creating an object sample d is equal to new sample, simply d dot show. So what will be the output? The output you will get a 10, because here I didn't mention any this keyword. Here I mentioned any this keyword. So here this is an instance method. So what I said, in the instance method or initialization block and the constructor, no need to mention. It is implicitly present. So the system is going to understand x is nothing but this dot x. This is nothing but this dot x, which is implicitly present. You no need to mention. This dot x is you no need to mention. So this is an instance variable. I am printing this instance variable. This is an instance method. So this dot x is implicitly present. You no need to mention. So first class is loaded. Open brace executed. Controller come to the main function. Object is created. Sample object is created. By using an object reference, I am calling d dot show. Okay, so entering into the d dot show and executed system dot out dot print an x value. So whatever the instance variable that is there, that is going to be printed. So this is present. So this dot x is nothing but this dot x. So system is understood. So this is the current object. The current object, whatever it is there, so that is d dot show. So that value is going to be printed here. 10 is going to be printed. So this is what happening here. It is implicitly present. So let me take one more example. We will see different examples. Don't worry about it. Example 2. So here I am taking class sample. Okay. So int x is equal to 10. Okay. Int x is equal to 10. Now writing void show. So system dot out dot println. Up to here it is everything is clear for you. That is implicitly this dot x is present. Now in the main function public static void main string arguments. So here I am going to create a two object sample. D1 is equal to new sample. D1 one object reference is created. Another object reference is I am creating. D2 is equal to new sample. Okay. So now what I am doing here is D1 dot x is equal to D1 dot x plus 3. Okay. And D1 dot show D2 dot show. Close this. This is what my program is. Now what happening here? So the class is loaded. Open brace executed. Compiler will come to here. Main will be executed. Sample D1 object reference is created. So D1 object reference. Okay. An object, sample object is going to be created. So what is the sample object? This is the sample object, right? A sample object is created. So whenever the sample object is created, okay, so it will stores the instance value. Suppose x is equal to 10. So with an object reference D1, D1. So now another object is created. A new sample object. Another object is created. Sample object with D2 as reference. D2 as reference. So whenever the object is created, when the instance variables are loaded, instance variable allocates memory. Allocates memory. I already explained this. Instance variable allocates memory whenever object is created. Whenever object is created. This is already I explained when I explained about instance variable. So when this memory is allocated, when the object is created, memory is allocated. So here another object is created and memory is allocated to this instance variable. If you want to access this instance variable, first object has to be created. Sample object has created with the reference D2. So allocates a memory. Okay, these two steps are clear. Sample object, one object is created to allocate instance variable memory allocation. Another object is created with to allocate memory to instance variable. Up to here this is clear. Now D1 dot show. Whenever I mention D1 dot show, okay, so D1 dot x is equal to D1 dot x plus 3. So D1 means this is. So here implicitly this keyword is present. So this keyword is present. So here whatever the x is there, this is this dot x implicitly present. So implicitly what this dot x is nothing but a 10. Right? This is 10. So D1 dot x, that is D1 dot x is more 10. Right? D1 dot x is 10. 10 plus 3, 13. So this will be overridden with 13. Implicitly this is this dot x. This dot x means the current value. The current value is the 10. So D1 dot x, what is consisting of D1 dot x? That is a 10 is there. 10 plus 3, 13. So you will get a 13. Okay. So here a 13 will be there. Now coming to here. Okay. So this is 10 only. First is whenever the memory is allocated, this value is the 10 only. Okay, this will be upgraded to 13. Now D2 dot show. Compiler go to here with the D2 reference. So what is the memory allocated to the instance variable? So whenever the memory is allocated to instance variable, it occupies 10, right? It occupies 10. So that 10 is going to be printed here. This dot x, the current whatever it is there, that is. So for this reference, D1 is overridden with 13 and this is going to be printed 10. Whenever you call this function D1 with the D1 reference, 13 is printed. Whenever you call with the D2 reference, 10 is printed. Okay. So let me write that one. This keyword explicitly required when to access an instance variable. This keyword explicitly required to access instance variable whenever, this I already explained. I want to explain with an example. That's why I'm writing again. Whenever both instance and local variable names are same. So far you didn't see only the implicit this keyword as seen. Whenever you are accessing the current object, that is the instance variable name. So you are just simply using only the system.out.println x. That's it. Now here see, when you need to mention explicitly this keyword. Whenever the instance name and the local variable names are same, you have to mention. Let's see an example on that. Example 3. Class sample. Okay. Now int x is equal to 10. This is an instance variable, right, with the name x. Okay. And void show. In this void show, it's a method. In this method, I'm taking another variable. Int x is equal to 20. This is an instance variable. And this is a local variable because it is present inside a method. If it is present inside a method, then it is a local variable. If it is present inside a class, then it is an instance variable. Here, instance variable name and the class variable name both are X only. So in this case, you have to mention system.out.println. I'm just writing the code snippet, and system.out.println this dot x. You have to mention this dot x. Okay. So whenever this x is there, what value is going to be printed? If this x is there, it is going to take only the local variable. 20 is going to be printed. Whenever this dot x is there, it takes the instance variable. Instance variable, the current object value is going to be printed. Okay. So for that you have to be public static void. So here it is 10. So if you want to allocate the memory to instance variable, first object has to be created. First create the object, string, arguments. Okay, object create sample, d is equal to new sample. Now call the function d.show. Okay, so first class is loaded, open brace executed, compiler comes to here, so object is created, sample and d.show. So whenever d.show, it goes to here, and int x is equal to 20, a local variable is loaded. System.out.println, here it takes the 20 value. So whenever the instance variable and the local variable names are same, so whenever you mention this dot x, it takes the instance variable, that is a current object value. This will take the current object value. Current object value. So what is the current object here? So that is the instance variable. So this dot x is 10. 10 is going to be printed. Okay. Let me take one more example. So this will get a complete clarity on how to use this variable. Class sample void display. The same programs you can execute on the system, students. Try to note down the programs, and if you want, I'll show you in the system also. No problem. So first try to understand here and try to write the code your own on the IDEs or the notepad. Okay. So here I didn't create an instance variable. I'm not creating. I didn't create an instance variable. Just void display system.out.println. So here I'm writing all about CSIT. Okay, I'm taking one more function, one more method, void show. So in this void show, I'm calling this display function, display method. So public static void main string arguments. So create an object. If you want to allocate a memory to the instance method also, you need to create an object, right? Sample d is equal to new sample. So here two methods are there. Display is there, show is there. Inside the show, a display is going to be called. So try to call show. So d dot show. So what happens? First the class is loaded, open brace executed, compiler comes to here, the main function, object is created, a sample object is created. Okay, sample object is created. So whenever object is created, it calls the d.show. In the d.show, okay, a display method is there. So this display is nothing but it's this dot display only, implicitly. Okay, implicitly called by the compiler. Implicitly called by compiler. Display, this dot display. So what is the this dot display? So display, it goes to here. It's a current instance method. So the current method display, it's nothing but it's a this dot display. This dot display means the current method. What is this? all about CSC. So output will be the all about CSIT. So this is here, you no need to mention. Okay, so whenever the class name, instance name and the local instance variable and the local variable, then you need to mention the this keyword explicitly. Otherwise you no need to mention it. The system compiler itself take it as a this dot variables or this dot method. So this is about this keyword, student. In the next video we will discuss about the constructor. Constructor is one of the important concept. Thank you.